Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Tim here with the TMA Connection. That's a local podcast that's focusing on people that are making a difference in the lives of others, and whether that's through their business or through charity or just through just being a good, decent human being. And today, we got one of those decent human beings that has her own business. We got Alaina Pippitt.
Yes.
Yep, Alaina Pippitt from Alaina's Gourmet Creations. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
I've been following you for so long on social media, and we just sat down at the table. I'm like, how do I really know you? like I know you, but I don't know how I know you.
Yeah.
So it was interesting that, hey, you know what? I mean, I feel like we've been close friends for so long.
I know, and it's isn't that funny how that works?
That's right. That's right. So welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks.
And promoting what you're doing, which is phenomenal. I see you all over Facebook and Instagram, really promoting yourself, and we try to do the same. So give you an opportunity to just showcase who you are. So
thank you.
In a 30-second pitch, who is Alaina Pippitt?
Oh, geez. Alaina Pippitt is a mom, a wife, lover of dogs, foster dog mom, chef, lover of humans, owner of Alaina's Gourmet Creations. I don't know. Is that good?
That's great.
I'm trying to hit all the things that are important to me.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And a loving wife and mother of three daughters. Right?
Yes, three daughters.
Something we also share in common.
Yes.
So.
I feel like we need to be like a club with people with three daughters. It's
right. Like a support group.
It's a whole other situation.
Oh my lordy, right? Gosh. So you started Alaina's Gourmet Creations. Mm-hmm. How long ago?
It was a long time ago. It was, I was probably close to 16 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
so how did all this start?
So basically, I went to culinary school right out of high school. I've always known I wanted to be a chef and a mom. Mm-hmm. Got married really young. I was 21. Okay. Still with the same man. Known him since I was 17.
Let's go.
Yeah. So that's why I have a lot of gray hair. That's why I get my hair. I get
don't see any there. Come on.
And basically, I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I did not want someone else taking care of my kids. It's okay if you do. That's fine. For me personally, I wanted to be the one raising them. So I did in-home daycare when my babies were first born and took care of other people's kids. And I was just like, I need to do my career. Mm-hmm. So I started teaching at Hartford Community College, non-credit cooking classes. Actually, it's a funny story. I had my daycare kids in the car. My mom's with me. She stayed with them in the car. I was going into the college to sign up for a sewing class because I sew, but I don't know how to use a pattern. So I was like, I'm going to do this. So when I was in there, I come back out. My mom's like, they have cooking classes, Alaina. You should do that. And I'm like, I don't know, Mom. Like, she's like, just do it.
Yeah.
So I literally walked back in, and I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it because it's how the whole thing started.
Yeah.
I don't talk about it that often. And I walked in, and I said, they pointed me in the direction I needed to go in. And I told her, I was like, this woman, I was like, hey, I'm a chef. I went to culinary school. She hired me on the spot. She's like, this is what you need to do. So I started teaching classes at night at Patterson Mills. So basically I would do daycare all day. My husband would get home from work. I would leave. Yep. I would be gone till 10 o'clock at night because, by the time you pack the car, load it, bring everything, all that. And then people just started asking me, hey, do you cater? Hey, can you do this? Can you do that? And I got to the point where I didn't need to do in-home daycare anymore.
Yeah.
And my husband was scared, So basically, I worked, and that's kind of how it all rolled out. Stopped in-home daycare, went full throttle with this, and just living my literal dream like every day. Like I've wanted to be a mom and a chef since, I remember there's like a kindergarten picture of me with a baby in one hand and a spoon in the other one, apron on. So I'm living my dream, basically.
That's wild. And you've grown significantly in the past 16 to 17 years.
Yeah, definitely.
How has social media helped you in this growth?
Oh my gosh, it has helped me so much. Yeah. So much, because people can see I put everything out there. Mm-hmm. I'm always myself. And that's something. Sometimes my family gets annoyed because they're like, "Can you just not?" And I'm like, "No, I can't just not. That's just I'm me all the time. Yeah. I don't censor myself. I don't hide who I am. It is what it is. The good, bad, the ugly."
Wow.
And I put that on social media because people need to know what is going on in your life. And as you know, I'm a chef, but I'm also, there's a lot of other things that I love and I care about and that I stand for. Mm-hmm. And I put that out there. So it people like, I'll go to the food store. My husband always, like, my kids and my family, you're Harford County famous. Like, I'll go to the store. People like, oh my God, Alaina. And I'm like, I have no idea who they are.
I know, right?
Like, I'm sure you get the same thing.
Well, I got that more as a teacher. Like when we would go to Harford Mall, when Harford Mall was actually populated with people.
Yeah.
I would be walking down, and people would say, "Hello, hey, Mr. Markland, hey, Mr. Markland," and my daughters would always be like, "Oh my God, Dad knows somebody else."
Yes, and it's funny because I'm from New Jersey, so I'm not even from here, and my mom is always so proud. Like, whenever she comes to visit, she's like, "I'm just the chef's mom." Like, she, so it's cool. And I like to do good for people. I like my social media presence. I try to use for, as you know, I foster for the Hero Rescue. Mm-hmm. Everyone's like, "How much do you get paid?" I'm like, "I don't get paid. I clean up poop and I get paid with kisses, and I'm fine with that."
Wow.
So I like to post.
How does your husband like that?
Well, he's the one that built me the puppy room.
Oh wow.
So when we bought our dream home, when I tell you we came from nothing, like no help from anyone, like went through the couch cushions to look for change to go to take our first daughter to Broom's Bloom ice cream, like literally poor, to building our dream home. We work very hard, both of us. But anyway, so when we bought the house, something happened in our beautiful finished basement that doesn't even look like a basement, and they messed up where the rooms were supposed to be. So we ended up getting a 5th bedroom with a closet and a window. With a realtor, that's like,
okay,
we got a 5th bedroom. So the room, the other room that was supposed to be the bedroom, turned into the puppy room.
Oh my gosh.
So he made it, basically did all the floors, covered the walls in like stuff you can wash down.
Yeah.
The only thing we didn't do, which I wish we did, is put like a bath in there, but there's a bathroom right next door.
Okay.
Long story short, he says he doesn't love it, but he loves it. Like, you'll find him on the floor with all the puppies all over him. And me and the kids take pictures of him. We're like, he hates puppies though. You know what I mean? So he hates it. He says he hates it, but he does it.
I think he and I need to start a support group.
I think you do. I think,
men with crazy wives who love animals and everything else.
He's just lucky we don't have cows and goats and chickens and all that. So I don't have time for that with work, obviously.
Right.
The puppies take up a lot of time. I like to take in the pregnant mamas. Okay. And they have their puppies with us. And that is just like, I've always loved the nursing side. Like,
is that hard to, because you're only temporarily their caretaker, right?
Right, it is. It's hard, but when you literally are cleaning up pee and poop and like think of being a dad and times that by 100 for bodily fluids. Okay, you're doing that for like 12 plus puppies sometimes for like 9 weeks. Yeah. So you're done. By the time they're gone, you're like, okay, see ya. Don't let the door hit you in the
And then how long do you recover before you're like, all right, here comes the next one?
So usually my husband's like, are we good now? Can we wait like 3 months? Can we wait? Like, he like gives me time. Like, I know when I can sneak one in. Yeah. Like, we just had 2 husky shepherds and he like loves shepherds. And I knew I didn't even have to ask because he's like, bring it. And like, because they're so freaking cute. I usually get attached to the mamas because I'm taking care of them. Yeah. I'm taking care of them like a mom would want to be taken care of after they've had a child. Like, it's a lot on a woman's body, a dog's body, to have children, have babies. And like I said, if I wasn't a chef, I'd probably be a labor and delivery nurse or something with lactation because I totally love that. Yeah. So even though I'm a chef, I kind of get to live that side of my dream and be like a lactation nurse / delivery nurse.
So what started off as a food podcast has now turned into talking about dogs, pee and poop.
I know. Well, I'm sure people that know me that are going to listen to this podcast know that I can't let a minute go by without talking about dogs. So that's just me.
That's awesome. Yeah. All right. So let's go back to your business before I get myself in trouble or your husband in trouble or anything like that. Right. So how does your business work? Okay.
So a lot of people. So I'm going to tell you about all the things I offer. Okay. So I offer catering, which some people don't know. Okay. Because I closed that down during COVID. Like, I didn't cater at all. I was like, I'm not doing this. This is freaking me out. And then I kindly picked it up. Sure. Back up, and it's in full bloom now. I do weddings, showers, everything you can think of. I do weekly meals is my main business. That's what keeps me the most busy. Okay. I sell bread. So I also make bread. I sell it at the Southern Soul Shop. Okay. In near Madonna Seafood. Yeah. Over there. Up in Jarrettsville. Yep. And I also sell it on my website. Okay. So some people don't know that I do that. Okay. If you can't get to, if you have to put in like a full order in order to order to order bread for me. Yeah. So if people don't want to order full food and they just want to buy bread or scones or muffins, you can go to Southern Soul Shop and I sell it there. Okay. So I do charcuterie. I do all the things. I went to culinary school. So I literally know how to do all of it. I never was a baker before. I hated it. Now I love it.
Yeah.
So I offer weekly meals, catering, breads, desserts, charcuterie, all the things.
Yeah. Where did this passion come from? Like,
so like I said, from when I was a little girl,
Yeah.
I always knew that I loved to cook. My mom said I was walking around making mud pies still in diapers. Like,
Yeah.
in fact, my childhood homes, it was my grandparents' house, but in the Jersey Shore, there was these little rocks. They were black rocks. And I remember being little and like pretending they were steak.
oh my gosh.
And that house was with us till, let's see, my mom just sold it last year. So
Oh, wow.
Sandy wrecked it and then we rebuilt. But before we rebuilt, I kept these little rocks and
Yeah.
I keep them on my desk. That's how young I was when I knew that I wanted to be a chef. And I think I really knew in second grade, I was in the ShopRite cooking contest. And this was in New Jersey when I lived there.
Okay.
And I made this Alaina's Famous Chicken, which I offer. And I made it all by myself, and I sauteed spinach, and I did the whole thing. And I was in second place, and I didn't win. And the first place winner got to go to Disney World.
Oh my gosh.
And I remember hearing the news at the Shore House, and I was sitting on my mom's lap, and I wasn't devastated because of Disney World. I was devastated because I wasn't, and I'm getting goosebumps talking about this. I was devastated because I wasn't the best chef. And I remember crying and thinking like, this is how I knew.
Yeah.
I'm like literally full body goosebumps right now.
Yeah.
My grandmother definitely had a huge impact on me wanting to be a chef. My mom loved to cook, and if she's going to listen to this, she's like, you never give me any of the credit. My mom should get all the credit. I mean, I'm a mom, and I get it. Like, the moms always get crapped on. Like, we don't get the credit for anything. So, like, Mom, if you're listening, I love you. You have always been my biggest supporter, my biggest fan. And, and I think it is, too, when you look back, my mom had to cook dinner to like get dinner on the table and get crap done, right?
Yeah.
Where it looked hectic and like it didn't look like she loved it. And
Right.
I think that's why I think about it. I'm just realizing this now that when my grandmother cooked, it was like full of, let's get dirty, let's roll our hands in the dough. Here, play with this dough, make the pasta with me. But when you're a mom, you're busy, you're rushing, you just got to get dinner on the table. So I think I just actually realized why. When I think of my passion and where it came from, it's more my grandmother than my mom.
Right.
My grandmother owned a couple restaurants in New Jersey with my uncle. And I always knew that I just wanted to be a chef. And I think a lot of my passion and stuff comes from her.
Yeah.
Being a business owner, I was raised in a small business. My dad and my mom, my stepdad, but call him my dad.
Sure.
And my mom were mechanics. And they owned Clevenger's on Chambers Street in Trenton.
Okay.
And I was raised in that business. I was, from the minute I was little, I would sit at the desk and answer the phones and test drive cars. And so when you're raised in a small business, it's really hard after that, I feel, to not it's in your blood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm hearing all these little pieces of, the struggle of, scraping through the couch and getting the coins and just doing all the little things.
Yeah.
How has the struggle prepared you for your success today?
Oh, nothing ever came easy.
Yeah.
I remember for my parents growing up, like, it was either feast or famine, and they were both in that business together. Whereas my husband and he works for NASA. He's a meteorologist. It's not a huge money maker. It's not like we both have to work, but there's always like the healthcare comes from him. Like the
Sure.
crap, if we're out of luck, like we got his paycheck kind of thing. Where my parents, like that was it.
Yeah.
That was their paycheck. And there's times where they worked all through the night. And so I think just being raised in that environment has let me understand it and know that it's going to be okay. When there's a down, there's going to be a really big up. And it also taught me work ethic. I mean, I have, and I'm going to brag on myself, I have an incredibly high work ethic, and it's very hard for me to be around people that don't. And luckily my husband and I both, like, we work from the minute, like, we wake up until the minute we go to sleep. Like, and he works on the business with me. When he's not working his meteorology job, he calls, his dad's like, I'm going to call you one day and you're going to answer Alaina's Gourmet Creations.
Right.
And basically that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, so I think how I deal with it is just being raised in it and knowing that it's going to be okay. And my faith has really, I don't really talk about God a lot or anything like on my Facebook. I talk about being spiritual, and I'm very spiritual and I pray a lot. And another thing, like I remember when we were younger and we were looking through the couch cushions for money to go to Broom's Bloom Ice Cream. Every single time that there was a down, and I pray every day. So I'm not one of those people that just like pray when I need something. I pray every day, all day, like a lot of times throughout the day. And when I say I'm going to pray for you, I pray for you. But I remember always saying like, God, please, I just need one catering job. Like just please send me some work. Like I don't mind. I love working. Send me the work. I'm not asking you to make me rich. Mm-hmm. I just need to work. And every single time, the next day, that day, whatever, I would get an email, hey, I need a caterer. So I always know that I have that in my back pocket. Like, knock on wood, I don't need to do that anymore because I'm very, very busy. Yeah. Luckily, and I can turn down jobs if I want to. Okay. But my faith has always gotten me through, I think. And that's not something that people know about me. They don't know that about me, that it's really my faith.
That's beautiful. Yeah. That's something that I've been struggling a lot with lately. Yeah. Not a faith, but just the ups and the downs. Yes. And you know, when things are going great, they're going great. It's but when things slow down, it's like crap, you know. And it always works out. Yes. It always works out. And like you said, you know, when you say I'm going to pray for you, I pray for you. You know, when you hear people that they lose somebody on Facebook, and I usually just do a heart and a little hands prayer. Right. But I genuinely take a second. Right. And you pray for them. Just pray for their peace. Yeah. 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 I mean, you could definitely feel like you're an empathetic person. Mm-hmm. And I'm definitely an empath. Like I feel the feelings of others. Like I know someone from Homestead Wakefield, actually that's losing someone. And I just, like, I can't, I'm so sad about it. And I don't really know her that well, but I can see it. And I just feel that. And I just been praying for her like all day. Like, please just let her be okay. Like trying to like, send her faith and just send her love. And you could definitely feel that with seeing you in the community, and like when I used to run into you at the gym, and you know, it's the same kind of. And I think business owners were one of a kind. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like we're really similar in that way. I think when you really look at other people that own businesses, it's kind of like my dad when he died. Like there was a line around the. I mean, there was so many people we had to turn people away at his viewing. Wow. Because he knew so many people and he cared about so many people, and that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So
that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Going back to
business, I know we keep tying off into faith and.
So the biggest part of your business you would probably say is the meal planning, meal prep,
the weekly prep. Yeah.
The weekly prep.
Yeah.
What does that look like logistically?
Okay. Yeah. So I'll talk to you about it. I have a website, so everything is through there. You go on my website. You can see the options I have for the week. You can see the options I have for my baked goods that week. You can go on my website and look at catering. You can look at everything on my website, and everything's ordered through there. Okay. And it's funny, some of my customers that have been with me for this long, when they order once in a while, they're like, "Oh, I'll just Venmo you," and I'm like, "Nope." Go on the website, because that just messes up all of our numbers to like who's ordering chicken, how are they, like, I'll take some last minute things once in a while, but everything's through my website. Okay. So basically, we send out the menu, and when I say we, I'm going to say my husband. Okay. And I'm going to give him a big hands props. He does the website. All those weekly meals that you see all over Facebook in the Harford County Living, all that, that's him. Okay. He does all that.
Yeah, the examples that are on Facebook that were not brought into this studio today.
Yes,
for taste testing.
I promise
those.
You. I don't even know what I was thinking.
I don't know what you were thinking either.
You know what? I was prepping for like 14 hours yesterday, so I think I'm like still exhausted from that, and my brain is frozen.
All right, we'll give you a pass.
But I promise, I should have brought you food. No. Why did I? And I had so many leftovers too. Like I made like.
Oh, please don't rub it in.
I know, but maybe I will drop some off. So now that I know it's very easy to get to, I will. So. All that stuff, he does that. Okay. Takes care of the website. He's the one that prints all my labels for me. He does all that stuff. So the man works 24/7.
Jeez.
He's a hard worker.
Do the kids get involved?
Yes. Yeah. So it's funny because Sienna had off from school yesterday, so she came with us to the kitchen, and I'm like, "Babe, why don't you just sleep? It's okay." She goes, "Mommy, this is a family business, and I'm like, Jason, make sure we have payroll. I'm like, put her on the payroll. Make sure you pay her." He's like, pay her," and I'm like. She's working. You are going to pay her. Yeah. And she's like, "You don't have to pay me, Mom. It's a family business." So Sienna definitely is in, like, literally can handle, like, if something were to happen to me, Sienna could run the whole thing. Yeah. I mean, the kid is like 13 years old, cares about it, can run the whole thing, knows how to cook everything, the whole thing.
Just like a mini you.
She's a mini me, but better.
But better.
Like, she's a mini me, but better. And I feel bad saying that. I have 3 daughters, and she just is very involved. I don't know, Ava, the oldest one that's at college, she goes to West Virginia. When she has to help, she will.
Okay.
Like when she was home over break, I was doing charcuteries and she came downstairs and she was like, all right, Mom, what do you need? And I'm like, I almost cried. I'm like, you got up for me? She's like, well, I know you need help. And I'm like, and Lily's had a lot of medical stuff.
Okay.
So a lot of times she just needs to save her energy for school and like to actually have a social life. But she'll help me they all know how to do it.
Yeah.
So if something happened to me, they could do it.
Life goes on.
Yeah.
Business goes on.
Yeah. So they all know how to pitch in if they need
Yeah.
to. My mom was a huge, she always comes down if I have a huge job that I need help with. And so
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And the example that you're setting for your daughters with the work ethic
Yes.
and everything is what you got from your mom.
Yes.
It's kind of like this generational passing down of the torch.
Yeah, definitely. My grandmother, my mom, my dad, definitely. It's
Yeah.
So, and my husband, his parents were also really hard workers. They didn't have their own business, but my father-in-law always did. He retired at 52. So he knew what he was doing. He was in the guards. He was an accountant taxation in New Jersey, but he also had like rental properties and stuff. So we don't do that. But he also, came from like always working.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
definitely.
Wow. So if I'm ordering off your website, and am I ordering a week at a time?
So let's talk about that because everyone always asks the portion sizes. They ask about the portion sizes. Do I have to sign up? So basically, Tuesdays, the menu goes out for the week. Okay. So you have until Saturday night at midnight to order. If by some chance we sleep in on Sunday morning, which is rare, and you can sneak your order in then, you can.
Okay.
But I shop on Sundays.
Okay.
So I'll get text messages, I'll get calls, wait, can you sneak me in? And I'm like, okay.
and it's a set. It's not like you can pick and choose. Like it's a set menu.
Like, I have some people that are like, hey, can I have broccoli instead of string beans? Or I have one customer, Sally, she's amazing. I don't like beans. Can you not put beans in my, and it's really difficult to do requests.
Sure.
We have 45 deliveries today. 45.
Holy.
My husband takes half, I take half.
Oh my gosh.
So Sienna, every Tuesday, my little one, she's my runner.
Yeah.
She gets out of the car, runs it, rings the doorbell, comes back. So I try my best to take.
Is this all local?
I mean, we go to Baltimore County.
Wow.
We try not to go as really. We had to refine the actual map, which again my husband did because I have no idea how to do that.
Sure.
He also this is crazy. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah.
He does like the delivery map. So he'll do the addresses like exactly where I have to go, so it's easy. So I'm not like, how do you do that? Like, how does he know how to do that? I don't even know. Like, I couldn't do it.
Wow.
So he does it, so it's really easy. I mean, we usually get done between 2 and 3 hours each.
Okay.
Tonight it'll probably be more like 3.5 hours, especially with driveways not being shoveled and all that. Please shovel your driveways, customers. We love you, but we also, if I break my leg or my husband breaks his leg, you don't get your food.
Right.
So shovel or hire someone to shovel.
Then your daughter has to take over.
My poor daughter, yeah. So she gets out and runs. So Tuesday, Saturday night is the deadline by midnight.
Okay.
I shop Sunday and I cook all day Monday at Arnolia Kitchen in Harford County, in Baltimore County, sorry. It's a church kitchen.
Okay. Yeah.
So you put your order in.
Yep.
Anywhere between Tuesday and Saturday night.
Okay.
Okay, I cook all day Monday, and Tuesday it gets delivered.
Yep.
Between 3 and 6.
Okay.
On snow days or days that it's a little crazy, it might be 7, it might be 2 o'clock, depending.
Sure.
We literally knock and go. Everyone's like, well, I won't be home. And I'm like, it's okay. Leave a cooler out.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be home. So we ring the bell and we go. We don't talk. Otherwise, it would take me 8 hours.
Sure.
I talked to a few of my older customers because they live to just talk to me.
Yeah, sure.
So me and Sarah will sit there and talk. But other than that, we drop and go.
Yeah.
We don't have time to talk to everybody.
You have to.
Yeah. So that's how it goes. And there's no subscription. Like, if you order once a month, you can order once a month. If you order every week, that's great.
Okay.
You don't have to order a certain amount. Like, if you want just one meal, I think the cutoff is like $25. As long as it's $25.
Okay.
It's fine, just because we have to deliver it.
Now you're a member of a woman's group.
Yes.
We were talking about Gina Romanelli.
Yeah.
Or Romanel, sorry.
Yeah.
Gina, love you. And Paige Mulhausen.
Yeah.
How's that group helped you in your entrepreneurial journey? Or is there something more to it than
it's
that?
an amazing group. Mm-hmm. I will say it has helped me to be around other women that are like-minded.
It helps more of you as an individual.
As an individual.
Not growing your business.
Right. I mean, it's supposed to help each other grow our businesses, right? But I feel a little bit like I'm not just starting out. Mm-hmm. So not that the more help, I'm not saying I'm great, I've reached the top. No.
Right.
You can always grow, but it's more of a personal thing for me with that group than it is more for growing my business. I've met some really amazing women, Paige and Gina, and a bunch of we're the ambassadors of the group. We really just love each other and are real with each other and help each other and things like that. But it's definitely an awesome group to join if you're trying to learn how to do like the tech stuff and all the, like we have a different speaker every month kind of thing. Mm-hmm. It's a really great group to belong to. Yeah, and we're just, that's the thing. Is
good human beings.
Good human beings.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. It's about no agenda, no backstabbing, just good human beings that want to help each other grow personally and in business.
So what's to look forward to in Alaina's Gourmet Creations in the coming year?
Arnolia Kitchen, I can't have people pick up, and honestly, it's all the way in Baltimore County.
Right.
So the future, that's why I really would love to have a place here in Harford County where I can have a storefront. So that's my goal for 2025. Scares the crap out of my husband, because it's just another bill, right? It's another thing. But I really want a place where people can come in, get some bread, get some muffins, have a soup to go. If, hey, I forgot, how many calls I get on Sunday or Monday? Hey, I totally forgot to place my order, even though there's a text to join, guys.
Yeah.
Just all you got to do is text and you get a reminder.
Get a reminder, yeah. Don't forget the
Don't
deadline.
forget, Yeah. So, I would love to have a place where I could just be open and people can come in and grab their food if they forgot. I can sell my soups, my breads, my scones, my muffins. But it's incredibly difficult to find where I'm not literally breaking the bank I don't want a restaurant.
Yeah.
I don't want I don't want servers and all that. I just a couple tables, sit down, have a cup of coffee if you want, but.
And a kitchen in the back.
I need a kitchen. I need a full hood, because you have to have a hood and a grease trap with the Harford County the health department and all that. So that's my dream.
Well, hopefully somebody listening has the perfect setup that would be right for you, so, or knows somebody that does.
Yeah. So Gina's helping me out with that.
Oh, good.
So and it's nice. The great thing about our Village Wellness is we can network with each other.
Yeah.
So Gina's going to be my go-to because she's an amazing human. She's a single mom. She's awesome. I want to help her help me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's really awesome. And so we're on the lookout, and I'm not in any rush. I'm I love what I have. I love the situation I'm in right now. But if I didn't have to drive 30 minutes to my kitchen every time I have a job or a catering or I have to prep, and then
just think about how that adds up over time.
Right. So that's where 2025 I want to go. If it's in God's plan. I always say that,
well, it goes back to your faith.
Yeah, it goes back to my faith.
When it's supposed to happen,
it'll happen.
It'll happen,
and it's got to be the perfect situation, because with my health, I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So
what's that?
It's a connective tissue disorder.
Okay.
And another thing, my kids are gonna be like, seriously, Mom, it's not. It doesn't define me, but it makes it. It's a lot of my decisions are because of that.
Okay.
So it's a connective tissue disorder. It affects your GI, your gut, your everything basically. So my knees pop out, my hips pop out, my shoulder pops out. That's why you don't see me in the gym anymore, because I'm too afraid to hurt myself.
Oh my gosh.
So I've had
that's a good excuse.
Yeah, 3 reconstructive surgeries of my feet, 8 incisions each time. My Achilles, all of it.
Oh my gosh.
So every day is it's not a struggle. I'm not in a flare right now, and I haven't been in probably 5 months, which is amazing. I feel so energized. I feel great, minus the little aches and pains here and there.
Yeah.
But when you're in a flare and you literally can't get out of bed and you have to, it's a little difficult.
Oh my gosh.
It's a lot of pain. So when I say God willing, He knows the plan for me, and I sound really religious right now. This is not really who I am, but I am.
Deep down inside,
right,
you are.
That faith. And I'm if it's right, it's right. And I've always trusted my faith to just get me through and say hey, my husband's I love this idea and it's great, but babe, you're Monday night you get home and you're done. He's and I'm yeah, but every day I've been doing my breads, and I've been I stand 12 hours a day. Probably more than that.
Are there days where you just can't do it?
Knock on wood, I haven't had one of those days in 6 months.
Okay.
There was a short time in December when all of a sudden my knee just decided to come completely out of the track or socket or whatever, and my knee was blown up, and I couldn't bend my knee.
Wow.
And it was 3 days, and I just iced it and just was oh God, please. And I went to physical therapy, McLaughlin Physical Therapy. Just gonna give them a plug. Holy moly. I feel great.
Wow.
And that's how it's been. I went to PT I started probably like 7 months ago for my SI. Knock on wood, doesn't really hurt that much.
Okay.
I went there for my knee and like literally 2 treatments and I was like good to go.
Wow.
So I don't know what they do at McLaughlin PT, but they are freaking amazing.
Yeah.
For anyone that has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, like I will plug the crap out of that place because knock on wood, like since if I go to like 1 session at PT, I'm good. One of the questions, like we said, we would talk about is like one of my last year, like what was the hardest thing or whatever the question was.
Yeah.
And it was my health.
Yeah.
Because I had 2 surgeries in 1 year. So the first surgery I had, I only took a week off and I went to the kitchen in a wheelchair. My husband and Leah came with me.
Oh my gosh.
And guess who was there? Showing up on the first day back, the health inspector.
Come on, man.
I swear to God, he was the greatest guy ever though. He's not my health inspector anymore, but you have to have passion and really love what you do to have to do
You
that.
really do.
You know?
Like I'm just thinking about like this morning, like I haven't been to the gym in 3 days in a row and you know, this is the 4th day. I'm like, do I really want to go? And
Just
I'm pushing myself to go. But then you talk about this and it's like, get up, boss.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like I look at my husband and he could just be like, I'm going to go run 5 miles. And he could just go run 5 miles. Like he could just go like do anything. And my heart breaks for my kids because they all have it. And no one ever knew I had it when I was growing up. I actually just shared a podcast on my Facebook page called Bendy Bodies. And it just made me cry this morning. I'm like literally getting ready and I'm like, oh my God, like it's crazy, you know, and I love to work out. Like I miss Planet Fitness so much. Like I miss going there and just, but I'm so scared to hurt myself because I went like
a
couple months ago and I was trying to like lift on because I haven't been there in a long time and my shoulder just wouldn't. And I'm like, I don't have time for a shoulder surgery right now.
Right.
Like my mom's had 4, like her shoulder operated on, her spine operated on, her hip operated on, like things just start to and I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
So
I know there's a culmination of things that are packaged together as health.
Yeah.
You know, if there was one thing, what would be the most important, if you can even extract the most important, that has helped you get more healthy?
Okay. So in general health.
Yeah, just general health. Like
okay. So we're not just talking about EDS, just health in general.
Just health in general.
Water
Yeah.
and whole foods. Stop eating processed foods as much as you can.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Just because you're overweight does not mean you're not healthy, right?
Okay.
There's people that are overweight that literally eat clean and they don't eat. I try my best to not eat processed foods as much as I can. So meaning bread, if you're going to eat bread, make bread or buy bread from someone that makes their own bread.
Okay.
Doesn't even have to be sourdough. It just has to be, right? So when you think about me growing up with my grandmother, my grandmother lived to be 93, you know, less processed foods. If you can make your own bread, if you can stop putting syrups in your coffee that have a million ingredients that you can't understand, protein drinks that have 17,100 million chemicals in them, yeah, you're going to lose weight, but guess what? You're eating chemicals.
Yeah.
So I've really tried to go back to whole foods. Just, you know what? If I have 2 hard-boiled eggs in the morning when I wake up, that's okay. You know what I mean? And then have like the less do I eat. You know, I just bought freaking at BJ's yesterday Dorito flavored popcorn. It's only 70 calories a cup. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just every once in a while, you know.
You got to treat yourself.
Right. I'm not saying I'm perfect at eating whole foods. I'm just saying like,
try
to minimize
but all
it.
the food that you're creating in your
all
business
homemade from scratch.
It's all made from scratch.
And that's another thing I want to say to anyone that's listening. Like, if you go to a catering place, right? And I've been to other things where I'm like, this is like not even edible. Like, how do these people still keep getting hired?
Yeah.
Like, everything that I cook is literally from scratch. Yeah. Like croutons, homemade. Sauce, homemade. I can make my own pasta, but I'd have to charge you like $30 a plate instead of 12 or 15, right? All my sauces, roasted peppers, all the things that go into it. Like my husband's cooking with me yesterday because Leah had off and he's like, why don't we charge more for this? And I'm like, see? And he's the one that's like, I want to charge more. And he's like, no, we can't do that. And I'm like, you have no idea the time that it takes to make these things because they each have their own like element of, you know, like what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like when you're making I don't even know, like we were doing cheeseburger quesadillas, which is not very gourmet yesterday, right? But you got to make the ground meat. I cut onions, fresh herbs, make the meat, cook the bacon, arrange them, right? It's just, or even like chicken quesadillas, you know, you're grilling the chicken, then you're making the bruschetta that goes in there, fresh tomatoes, not canned. Like everything is fresh. Yeah. All my salad dressings, all homemade. So when you're doing everything from scratch, it takes a lot more time. And I still think that all my customers are like, customers that order every week now are just like, you need to charge more money. And
your customers are telling you.
Yeah, because and I've had some customers that have been with me since like my first customer ever, Heidi. Her name was Heidi. And she was my first student in my first class I taught at the college.
Wow.
Yep. And she actually adopted one of my dog mamas. Okay. So I see her a lot now, but she lives, we deliver there, but she lives in Aberdeen. She's always just the other day, she's like, you hated to bake. What's with you baking now? And I'm like, I love it now. But they're like, you need to charge more money.
I wish I had a passion like you do for cooking, because I hate cooking.
Yeah.
I hate it. When somebody says what's for dinner in the Markland house, everybody just like freezes up.
I'm going to make you feel better. Guess what? When everyone says what's for dinner in the Pippitt house, the same thing happens. Because they have a gourmet chef that cooks for them. Yeah. But yet, Ava's not home, but she's gluten and dairy free. Okay. So lucky her, she gets everything homemade. In fact, her boyfriend's heading back to Frostburg. Okay. And she's like, he's going to come pick up stuff. Can you make me banana bread, muffins, like cookie? I'm like, yep. So I got to load her up at college, And then Lily's gluten free, but she's very fussy with everything. Sienna pretty much eats everything, but everyone's just like, Parmesan crusted chicken with basil beurre blanc. I'm so tired of that. Can we just have chicken fingers? And I'm like, seriously? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I make all these gourmet foods and they're just like, oh
my gosh.
They just want normal food.
Come on, kids. You don't know how good you have it. Jeez.
Yeah. So anyone that comes over, I usually send them home with.
Do you work with people with milk allergies?
If in fact, I have someone this week that ordered, that I work with her with Hero Rescue. She ordered for her daughter. And she's gluten-free, like really like needs to be gluten-free. And she actually ordered something that wasn't gluten-free. And I messaged her, I'm like, hey, by the way, I know you're gluten-free. You ordered something that's not gluten-free. So yeah, I can accommodate gluten-free, dairy-free. Most of the time, if I can, I'll try to do it within what I'm making. Sometimes it's not, I can't do it, but most of the times I definitely can, especially with catering. Yeah. Like I just got a job, easy job. It's like baked ziti, salad, but they need like 25 pieces of gluten-free chicken parm. Easy peasy. Okay. Milk allergy, definitely. I make everything for my older daughter, dairy-free, gluten-free. Yeah. It's just a matter of finding the products like nut pods. I don't know if your daughter ever has used nut pods before. No. They're really good. Like if she ever wants a creamy sauce, like a pasta with cream sauce. Okay. Get the original flavor nut pod creamer. It's plant-based. Okay. And it's amazing.
Interesting.
I try to help as much as I can with people with food allergies because one kid is celiac, other, gluten-free, dairy-free. Yeah. Sienna has type 1 diabetes. So I try to help people as much as I possibly can. Yeah. And also one more thing. So I want to plug that I run a type 1 support group. Okay. We meet once a month. Anyone is welcome with type 1 caregivers, the person that has type 1, their family, their friends. We have from 2 years old until up to 40 with type 1 that come over. Yeah. It's at my house right now. We just get together once a month and talk. And I want to start having speakers and things like that once it gets a little bit bigger, different pump representatives and things like that. Okay. So I like to help people with all those things too. Wow. I don't like to sit still. So,
have you figured out a way to expand time?
No, I just, I don't know. I'm not a sit stiller kind of person. And especially with EDS, that's like the hardest thing. Like, sure, giving my body time to just sit because I don't like sitting. Yeah, but like, you got to take care of yourself. I got to do it. Yeah. So sometimes it's God's way of just like slowing me down, saying like, let's just dislocate your elbow so that you can like sit down for 5 minutes.
God, do we need to take it to that extreme?
I know.
Could you just say, take a break today?
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, if people want to connect with you on social media, where can they find you? And then furthermore, where can they find the website to order?
Yeah,
from you?
So on social media, it's I have a business page, Alaina's Gourmet Creations.
That just passed 3,000 likes.
Yes, it did.
Yes, it
Very
did.
excited about that.
That is exciting.
Thank you for sharing, everybody that does that. And then I have my personal page, which you can always friend me on there, and then I usually refer them to that, to the business page, because I post my menu on both pages. I'm also on Instagram. So the website you can find on my Facebook page.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of email. Yeah, it's agcmeals@gmail.com.
Okay.
And if you have any questions, you can email me on my email.
And what's the website? We'll put it up on the screen. Oh, yeah, the little dashes. Alaina's dash gourmet dash creations .square.site.
Yeah.
There it is.
So that's what I meant. Like, I know it's Alaina's Gourmet Creations, but I didn't know if I was supposed to add all those little things in there.
Yeah.
That's how technical
but
I am.
you can Google it.
Yes,
and it'll come right up.
Yep, it'll come right up.
Yep.
Google it.
I hope people take the opportunity to follow you.
Yeah, and just know that every dish that I make is made with love and so much passion, and every day that I get to get up and get to cook is a good day. And I think that's what sets me apart, is that people can feel that.
Yeah.
They feel the love that's in that food.
Definitely.
You know, because Monday is my favorite day. Everyone hates Mondays. I love Mondays.
Thank God it's Monday.
Yeah, because I get to get up and just do what I love to do.
That's phenomenal. Well, folks, please, again, follow Alaina. Thank you for coming in today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was so fun.
This was very fun. If you haven't followed us yet, we're at The Markland Advantage on Facebook and Instagram. And we're on YouTube as well. Do you have YouTube?
I do have YouTube. I was putting cooking things like demos up there. I haven't done it in a very long time.
Okay. All right. We won't plug that one.
Find time for that.
But you can search us on YouTube at The Markland Advantage. And, of course, download the podcast anywhere you download podcasts, whether that's Apple, Spotify, Pandora, all kinds of places. We're everywhere. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love this. I absolutely love this, and I love what you're doing. I love your energy, and I love just what you're putting out there, and keep it up.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. And until next time,
Yes.
live your life to the fullest, and we'll see you soon. Take care.